Before I get started on my next bit of educational content, I just wanted to put this out there for anyone who has any doubts about the fact that I do have educational experience. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. If you can hear me, clap 3 times. There was a great big moose, and he drank a lot of juice. There was a great big moose, and he drank a lot of juice. Jonathan is doing great in my class. I think he's just a fantastic kid. So bright, so fantastic. There have been a couple issues, but you know what? We can handle that at the BIP meeting. So I don't want you to worry. We are going to get this worked out so that your child can have a really great year. Beaver none, beaver one, let's all have some beaver fun. Beaver 2, beaver 3, let's all climb the beaver tree. Look, if you speak that way to one of the students, then we are going to get sued. You can't speak that way to the students, and I know that this is very inconvenient, but they have a behavior plan for a reason, and we need to follow that. This is a manifestation of their disability. What? In a bug? Did you see a bug, you said? Oh, but it's dead. Okay, remember, what's Miss T's second rule? Dead things can't hurt you unless they're zombies. So I'm hoping that answers that, but if anybody does, in all seriousness, have any questions about my credentials, please just DM me. I am more than happy to tell you about all of my educational background, my career background, and that includes any of the occupational training that I did throughout my career. So yeah, let's get to the stuff. I didn't have a lot of deaf students, but I would have students who were nonverbal. I worked a lot with students who had autism. Not everyone who has autism is nonverbal. I have autism and hear me speak, but the signs can help them communicate even when they can hear me. And also when I'm speaking, if I use the signs with them, it helps them remember to use it, and it can just back up what I'm saying. So the interaction that you saw in the last video would be one that I would do across the room. You know, hey, look at me, sit down, stop that, thank you. But I would also do it in person. Common one would be like, what? Oh, I can't play right now. Miss T has to work. Can't play. No. Do you need help? Do you have work? No? Okay, you play. I love you. And that would just be what we do. Sorry, I'm info dumping now, so you unlocked an info dump on teaching. So in addition to things like teaching all of the kids the signs and calling my services tutoring, I would tell the kids that all of my daytime services were full, but that I would stay. They could have their parents call me and we would schedule after school tutoring, which I did stay and do on my own time. And kids wanted in because I made it fun. I not only helped them to do their work in a way where they were still doing the work they need to do, but they had the supports they needed. We also had the class pets in there. I had juice. The older kids, if they got a permission slip from their parents, could drink coffee. We have coffee wars on here. We had a coffee war in my classroom. Who can make Miss T the best latte? My class motto was knowledge is power, power corrupts, study hard, be evil, and our class mascot it wound up being the rats, but at first it was zombies. This is how we're going to survive the zombie apocalypse. That's how I dealt with school shooters, by the way. I referred to it as, our zombie apocalypse plan. America, yay! But I would also do, so at the beginning of the year, every student in the hall got a study folder. How much the Gen Eds implemented this is hit or miss. Gen Ed students would get in their folder, I'd do coloring pages in there. I printed them out regularly because a lot of kids, when they act out, they're just bored. So I would give them, a regular rotation of coloring pages if they needed it, if they asked for it, even if they weren't on my rotation. And I would also have, general studying and wellness tips. My kids would get specific support materials that were geared towards them for their needs so that they could practice even when I wasn't there. They also had a one page that lined out their strengths, their needs in age appropriate language, and what they were entitled to from their teachers. I really encouraged my kids to advocate for themselves. It's one thing that I hated, that I did not get when I was young, that I didn't see in a lot of programs, and I wanted it. So I encouraged my kids. I was like, let's talk about how your brain works. Let's talk about what your diagnosis means. Let's talk about what this actually all means and what you are entitled to. And the kids did really well. And I would encourage them to, if they're not getting something they need, ask their teacher. If their teacher is not giving it to them, don't have a confrontation, but make sure you tell me. Ask to come see me. If they don't let you, tell me the next time we do it, and I will take it to the administration if I need to. And I did. You don't fuck with my babies. It wasn't all sunshine and roses. I mean, I had some rough kids, but it's never a kid's fault. They're just a kid. They're dealing with the situation they have. Oh, I would also give them a little business card that had their schedule on it. On the back, it had another listing of what they were entitled to, just so they could have it on them at all times. I miss my little sprouts. I do. I just can't do this and work in the public education system.